All right, I'm going to show you guys a little shoulder mobility workout here. So I want you to test your range of motion in your shoulder. Maybe do an internal or external rotation or lifting up, thumbs up. Where is it sticky? So you can go forward, lateral, whatever feels, kind of do all these ranges of motion just to see what feels a little bit stickier than another. I'm going to show you on one side, but I definitely want you to work on opening both sides, balance out your body. So you're going to need a foam roll or a ball or a PVC pipe, maybe a PVC pipe with a mat around it. Whatever you have available, any ball, golf ball, just to get some, that's a little bit harder, that's not going to give too much, so you can do some mobility work and loosen up the soft tissue area. Okay, so we're going to start with, here we are with our roller, and we're going to start in the lower area on the side, so it's our serratus and the rib cage area. So we're going to start low. Remember, everything's connected. So it may be tender in this area. So always start off a little cautious and then go into, the pressure that feels good. Pain is not a good indicator. So it's not no pain, no gain. Maybe mild discomfort. Breathing is important. So we're gonna roll up and down along, basically going across the rib cage and up, working our way up toward the top of the body. Okay, and I can use the pressure of my body to take away from the pressure on the roll, so just depending on how deep and how hard you want to push. So I'm rolling up and down, using my body to roll up and down, and once you find kind of a tender area, maybe oscillate on it a little bit. So then you can go along the rib cage. So now I'm going forward and back, feeling some tender areas. So definitely going in all directions. We have connective tissue called fascia. So not only does the muscle get tight where we are, but the fascia, that connective tissue, gets pretty tight. So basically I'm working all the way up. So I went from my serratus and I'm working up, and now I'm working up toward lats, my scapula, and my armpit. So that deep area into the armpit and toward the back are my lats, and then my scapula, my shoulder blade. And I'm gonna work around, and I'm gonna bring that roller up into the armpit. So I can move my arm in ranges of motion that feel sticky. When they feel sticky, I'm gonna hold a little bit, oscillate on it, breathe, use my diaphragm to breathe, diaphragmatic breath, feeling my belly, rib cage, and chest. We've done diaphragmatic breath before. Moving those toxins through my body. So basically I'm working from the lower to the upper part of my shoulder girdle, and then into that next area here, my tricep, back, and my trapezius. So now I'm going to roll onto my back. I want to get my tricep, upper arm, okay, and I can rotate my shoulder. Then I'm going to position my body, and I'm going to lift up a little bit onto that roller and go scap and trap. Scapula is the shoulder blade, and then my trapezius muscles on my shoulder blades with my lats, my latissimus dorsi. And maybe if I cross my arm over, I can get the internal part of my scapula, of the rhomboids. So there might be a tender area that I find into the inner part. So wherever that tender area is, you're gonna oscillate on it. Maybe I turn my head, yes and no, and find that tender area. Then I'm gonna go onto my pec, which is my chest, the front of my shoulder, anterior delt, and then the bicep. So basically I'm going from lower to back, and then I'm coming into the front. So now I have to position my body on the foam roll. So I'm gonna angle that foam roll onto my chest. And I'm gonna bring my arm out with my thumb up. And I feel some tenderness going on in my pec area. So I'm gonna hold, and now I can bring my arms up and down. Maybe I turn my head. So whatever movement I do, I wanna do that about 3 to 5 times. If it feels really good and I have the time, I can go longer. I can do some external, internal rotation at the shoulder girdle. Maybe big angels, the abduction, deep breaths. So I'm going from my pec to the front of my shoulder, which can be very tender in some people. And then I'm gonna roll out to my bicep, the front of my upper arm. And again, all this area can get really sticky and tight. So once you get a good roll in one area, just come up, shake it out, and notice the difference. So one side may feel way more open than the other. So you always, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, you want to balance out your body. So go to the other side. So you would start low on the other side, work your way to the back, shoulder blade, traps, inner area, coming out, tricep, then we go chest, front of the shoulder and bicep, okay? So once we're done there, we're gonna go into some mobility work. So you can still use a short foam roll. I have a longer foam roll, so I'm gonna do a long foam roll. And I want you guys can use a big beach towel, something that's bigger, maybe even a pillow. All right, so we're gonna go on the side, go on our back, and that foam roll, I want it to hit the base of your skull along the spine. All right, so we're here. I want chin, fist distance chin to chest here. I don't want your head hanging off. And then we're gonna bring our arms out and do a pec opener, a chest opener. So a lot of times when you're tight, the traps may contract and then everything tightens up as a protective mechanism. Use that breath, try to relax the shoulder blades, relax the arms. My whole spine is along the roller, and I'm pelvic tilting a little bit to keep that low back on the roller. And I'm just gonna hold here for some breaths to open up the pecs first. All right, and that will take some pressure off of my shoulder. Then I'm gonna go into number 2, elbows out and in. So I'm gonna bring the arms up, and then drive my elbows back and down. Coming out, inhale, exhale. So I'm trying to keep everything down close to the ground. I don't want my elbows popping up, and I don't want my hands coming up. So nice alignment. So I'm going Y to W, Y to W. I don't even need weights here. If I was more open and my hands were down on the floor, then maybe I can add some weights here. But right now, I just need to open up. I'm really tight through the chest. Okay, so about 5 to 10 Y to W's here. Okay, once I hold, then I'm gonna go into the mobility, moving through. And then I'm gonna roll off, and I'm gonna do supine, so that's on my back. And I'm gonna do supine Y to W's here. So I'm here, I can do it with my legs straight, toes up, or knees bent. So here, head, shoulders, elbows, tops of my hands, all touching the ground. Y, down to W. Inhale, exhale, making sure my back is flat too, tight core. So I'm gonna do similar to the foam roll, Y to W. And then I'm gonna flip over onto my stomach. That is prone. So I'm gonna do prone pull-throughs, prone Y to W, and then a prone twist. You can use a long sleeve shirt, you can use a belt, you can use a PVC pipe, a strap, whatever you have available. So my pull-throughs, I can go as wide as I need to. Head is in neutral, and I'm doing pull-throughs here. Loosening up the shoulder girdle, going into more mobility. So I do about 5 to 10 pull-throughs. Then I'm going to place the strap in my index finger and thumb. So in my Y, lift up, head is up, fist distance chin to chest, and I'm gonna drive my elbows down. Inhale, exhale. So I'm lifting up using my back extensors and my whole posterior part of my shoulder girdle, Y to W. Okay, 5 to 10 of those. So we're here, prone pull-throughs, prone Y to W, and then we're gonna twist. So I'm on the ground here, and I'm gonna twist. Loosening up the torso. So 5 to 10 of those each direction, and then notice how you feel. All right, so a little shoulder mobility with a little loosening exercises. See you soon.